Chapter 23. The backgammon tournament stood at 13-9 when the barking started. "Listen to that racket," Eli Mullenroney complained. "Leave it to pal o' mine to have the two loudest dogs in creation." Logan sprayed a mouthful of ginger ale all over himself. "Two dogs?" The old man nodded in disgust. "I thought Luther was bad enough. A couple days ago, pal o' mine brought in that rent-a-beast. Makes Luther look like a hamster. I hear he's got some baseball card that's supposed to be valuable." There was nothing Logan could do but continue the game and try not to think about what might be going on across the street. Besides, he reflected, the team had a lookout, Melissa, in the bushes. If things got too awful, Griffin would walkie-talkie her to go for help. A shiny black SUV moved slowly up the street, its driver hanging out the window peering at address numbers. It passed the Mullenroney house, then made a U-turn and pulled up in front of the porch, big motor idling. "Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for 531 Park Avenue Extension." Mr. Mullenroney pointed to the Palomino home. "It's right there. Can't see a blamed thing with the street light out. The way they run this town should be a federal crime." "Thanks." The SUV moved away from the curb, pulled into the Palomino driveway, and parked. Mr. Mullenroney handed Logan the dice. "Your turn." "Logan, you look like you've just seen a ghost." It was much worse than that. Logan was watching the driver get out of the car and walk up the steps to Swindle's front door. Griffin's eyes stung from the sweat pouring off his forehead and under his safety goggles. His stocking cap was drenched with perspiration. He had seen his father working with his blowtorch so many times. Never could he have imagined it was this exhausting. Or maybe it was the excitement building up inside him as he held the flame to the last quarter-inch of metal. The thrill was indescribable. Barely a thread remained between him and the final realization of the greatest plan he would ever be a part of. It was so many things all at once. Victory, justice, revenge. Not to mention a boatload of money. And then the piece tumbled to the carpet, and he was staring in the open flank of the lockbox. Darren positioned his flashlight so Griffin could see inside. Careful not to touch the red-hot edges of the hole, he reached in and removed the safe's contents. There were some papers, a handful of collectible coins, and $300 in cash. All 5 team members riffled through the box, and everything had been removed from it. The Bambino was not there. Darren put all their agony into words. "Bing, you idiot! Where's the card?" "I thought it was in here," Griffin shot back. He was almost too shocked and upset to argue with Darren. "I didn't burn into this thing for my health, you know." Pitt shook her head in grudging admiration. "That guy Swindle, he's one tough nut." "He beat us," Savannah admitted sadly. "This isn't over yet," Griffin vowed. "The auction people expected to pick up that card today. It's in this house somewhere." "This is just great," Darren seethed. "I nearly fell off the roof. There's a vicious dog chewing its way through a door, and now we've got no card. How could it be worse?" The doorbell rang. Lamar Fontaine pressed the button for the second time. Ding dong. The house was dark, but he could have sworn he saw movement in a front room. Besides, he was a bonded courier entrusted with receiving and delivering an item worth as much as $1 million. People did not stand him up, even when he was hours late. He rang one more time and then tried the knob. It turned, and the front door opened wide. The feeling was too familiar. Fighting his way through cotton wool, struggling with that terrible "where am I" feeling. And then Swindle's front bush was all around Ben Slovak. Oh no, the heist! There was hooting coming from across the street, and he struggled to remember what that meant. The signal! Why would Logan be giving him the emergency signal? He looked up and saw the answer. A tall man was letting himself in the front door. He pulled out his walkie-talkie and pressed the button. "Griffin, there's a guy coming in the house." "We know," came a whispered reply. "Is it Swindle?" "No, definitely not Swindle. Must be somebody looking for Swindle." Cautiously, Ben crept up the steps and peered inside through the side windows. The newcomer was in the foyer. "Mr. Palomino?" called the man. "Courier service." "Mr. Palomino?" He crossed the hall and opened a door to peer inside. What happened next was an image so horrifying that it would remain forever burned into Ben's memory.